Hi yogis, hope you guys are all holding up well. I certainly miss you as we all do. So here's a little something to help get us through. So what we're going to do today is a Bikram Plus variation. Now I know already, don't freak out if you haven't done Bikram Plus before. We're going to make this into a very accessible class for all of you. And in fact, this is a great time, since we've got a little extra time on our hands, to kind of expand your practice. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do more of a Vinyasa style to help keep your heart rate up. So we're going to flow from pose to pose to pose. We're also going to add a lot of strengthening and toning moves to your practice. So for those of you who are also missing your Pilates classes, we're going to kind of pull some of that in to this hour-long class today, just a 60-minute class. If you haven't done a Vinyasa style before, I want to show you a few things ahead of time just so that you can kind of move through your practice, move through our practice with some confidence in knowing what you're doing. So we are going to be modifying some things. If you have a regular Vinyasa practice, we're going to do a modified Sun Salutation A and Sun Salutation B. If you're wondering what Vinyasa even means, it's movement with breath. So we tie together yoga poses with a movement with breath. So for some of the things we're going to be doing, you'll hear me say lift halfway. So what we're looking for is a reaching up, a deep forward fold. If you need to soften your knees, you're welcome to do so. So fold all the way in as deeply as you can. And then on the halfway lift, the goal is to pull your abdominals in, straighten, lengthen your spine with straight arms. So rather than a rounded spine or an arched back, it's a flat back, straight spine. So you can either put fingertips on the floor or you can put your hands to your shins. It just kind of depends on your body proportion. And again, if you've got tight hamstrings, soften your knees if you need to. You'll also hear us talking about chaturangas. A chaturanga may or may not be in your practice, so I'm going to give you some alternatives right now. So as you reach up and we do our sun salutation, and we'll flow through that later, the option is to step back, and in your plank, you may either lower yourself all the way down to a cobra, lift your chest, tuck your toes back under, press to your plank, and into your downward facing dog. You may also choose to stay in your plank the entire time until it's time to move into your downward facing dog. Or you may flow through a chaturanga, so you move from high plank, tuck the elbows in, elbows go straight back, hover in your low plank, roll forward onto your toenails, lift your chest for your upward facing dog. As you can see, thighs hover above the floor. And then as you exhale, press to your downward facing dog. And while we're in downward facing dog, let's talk about this. The goal over time, it would be nice to have your feet to the floor, but that's not the goal. The goal is a straight spine, nice and elongated. So turn your middle and index fingers a little more straight ahead of your mat so that the weight is evenly distributed through the palm of your hand. Press through your hands, flatten your spine, pull your abdominals in. If you've got tight hamstrings, you can lift your heels and slightly bend your knees, but keep your spine flat and straight. Over time, work to press your heels with straight legs to the floor. Pull your abdominals in, lengthen through your spine from your tailbone to the crown of your head, and you can turn your eyes to your shins, your knees, your feet. And that's what we're going to do to get started today. So, starting today, I've got my trusty notes. I want to make sure I get everything in that I planned, although 1 hour, not very long, so we're going to try and squeeze it in. So let's start today in a seated position. Face the front of your mat and come into a comfortable seated position. If lotus is comfortable for you, go ahead and move into your lotus. If just an easy pose with crossed legs is comfortable, move into your easy pose. Also, you will see cats photobombing from time to time. I cannot control them. So come into your easy pose and decide what it is you need at this moment, and that may change throughout class. If you need to feel a little more grounded, put the palms of your hands onto your knees and allow your shoulders to soften. If you're feeling a little more hopeful and open, turn your palms up and receive a little bit of what the universe has for you. You also relax your shoulders, soften your face. You can close your eyes and take a few soft breaths in your nose and out your nose. As you do so, start to connect with your body. Feel how your hips are supporting the rest of your body on the mat. And soften the front of your hips as you allow your knees to come a little bit closer to the floor. Keep your abdominals tight to support and strengthen your spine. Soften your shoulders. Soften your face. Deepen your breath. 2 more inhales and 2 more exhales. And then from there, open your eyes. Place your hands on the mat in front of you and go ahead and bring yourself into a tabletop position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. You can either tuck your toes under or tops of your feet flat. Just a couple cat-cows to start articulating the spine. Take a deep breath in. As you do so, lift your chest to the ceiling, lift your seat to the ceiling, press your abdomen down. As you exhale, pull your abdominals back toward your spine. Look at your abdomen, press down through your hands and knees. Deep exhale. Inhale, look up to the ceiling. Exhale, pull in, look at your abdominals. Return to a neutral spine. Moving into some spinal extension. Reach your right arm forward, left leg back. Reach and stretch and hold. From here, pull your abdominals tight as you round your spine, elbow to knee, and reach. Pull in, elbow to knee, and reach. 2 more. And reach. Last one. Hold out. Pulse your arm and leg 8 times. 8, 7, abs tighter. Longer leg. 3, and 2, and 1. Hold. Set your hand down, set your knee down. Spinal extension, other side. Extend your left arm, extend your right leg back. Point your toe, reach, lengthen, pull your abdominals in. Elbow to knee, pull in, reach long, pull in, and reach. Last one, hold. 8 pulses up. Pulse 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Replace your hands. Index, middle fingers facing straight ahead. Tuck your toes under. Send your body into a high plank. So you may need to adjust your feet back a little bit. Puff up between your shoulder blades. Pull in through your abs. Tailbone under just a little bit. Press your heels back. Feet hip width distance or closer. If you need a little bit more stability, you can open them a little bit wider, but not too much wider. From there, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, pull your abdominals in. Press back to your downward facing dog. Again, evenly distribute the weight through your hands, and you can pedal your heels out. Bend one knee, bend the other, bringing your heels a little bit closer to the floor. Maintain tight abdominals, supporting, lengthening your spine the whole time. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. From here, look to the space between your hands. We're just going to walk to that space between our hands. Bring your toes and heels together side by side. Soften your knees if you need to. Inhale, rise all the way up. Moving into a Bikram half moon. So interlock your fingers, release your index fingers. Take a deep breath. Let's stretch right and stretch left. Right and left, and stop in the center. Take a deep breath, fill your lungs, thighs tight, stretch up, push your hips right or left, stretch to the right. Now here, as you're doing this movement, this is a good time to kind of demonstrate when we say shoulders over hips, it's not an arch back and it's not a lean forward. Hips and shoulders stacked roughly in the same line as you stretch and reach. Bring your left hip forward, right shoulder forward. Open through your chest a little bit more. Squeeze with your arms. Activate your arms here. They're not just resting next to your ears. They're active over your head. Come all the way over and push, push. Inhale, come back to center. Re-support, press down through your feet. Lift, zip up through your inner thighs, stomach in, stretch up, push your hips right, stretch to the left. Maintaining shoulders over hips, one straight line. Stretching across the coronal plane. Right hip forward, left shoulder forward, arms and head back. Push your hips further, stomach in more. Lengthen, press your palms together, stretch to the left and push. Inhale, come back to the center, stop in the middle. Backward bending. Now, you're not warmed up, so if you need to, you can take a little bit of space between your feet. That'll give your back just a little bit more freedom. Take a deep breath, drop your head back, reach up and reach back. Reach for the wall behind you. Push your hips forward. And most importantly, lift through your chest. Stay out of the low back. Push your hips more forward and reach back with your arms. Go back fall back. Inhale, come up, stomach in, Padahastasana variations. So stretch your body forward and heel toe your feet apart, hip width distance with your toes going straight ahead of your heels. Pedal your legs out just a little bit, bend your knees, right and left, right and left. And from here, take your middle and your index finger and hold your big toes like you're wearing flip-flops. Here's your first opportunity to give one of those flat back, straight spine halfway lifts. So lift halfway, straighten your arms, flatten your back, eyes slightly forward, and then when you exhale, stomach in, bend your elbows, and flatten your body against your legs. If you're tight in your low back or your hamstrings, it will look more like this for you. As long as you're feeling that stretch in the back body, you are doing this exactly right. Pull against your toes and roll into your toes. Stretch, reach your elbows directly out to the sides as you lengthen the back side of your body. Soften your neck, allow your head to hang heavy, pull against your toes, stretch your body down. Allow the back side of your body to open in its own time. Again, being a little more gentle with your body here in what's most likely for you, a non-heated environment. Inhale, halfway lift again, and this time, put the palm of your hand to the underside of your foot and the very tippy top of your toe reaches to the inside of your wrist. Roll the weight into your toes. Inhale, halfway lift, and as you exhale this time, bend your elbows. Left elbow bends to about 10 o'clock, right elbow bends to about 2 o'clock. And if you need to soften your knees because of tightness in the back body, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, straighten your legs, roll more into your toes, stretch your arms apart in opposite directions. Soften through your shoulders, soften through your neck, and use the pressure of your toes, your feet against your hands as the oppositional force to help you achieve and make contact within your body with that stretch. Inhale, halfway lift, and we've got one more. Take your hands out from underneath your feet. Now you can either heel toe your feet together and do the traditional hands under heels, or you can place your hands next to your feet and use the strength of your body to create the stretch. Hands flat, halfway lift, and come on down. And again, bent knees if you need to. So hands are firmly on the mat, but you're not necessarily pressing into the mat or trying to grip and pull into the mat. You are using the strength of your core to lengthen your own body down. Now that you've used your arms to help you with the first two variations of this, on this third variation, just kind of using the internal strength and structure of your own body to achieve the stretch. Roll forward into your toes and stretch your body down. From here, halfway lift. Make sure you're near the top of your mat. Heel toe your feet together. Inhale, rise all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana, upward hands pose. Give a nice arch back, just a little one. Exhale, deeply fold. We're going to flow through some of our Sun A variations. Inhale, halfway lift. From here, step your right leg back into a high lunge and raise your arms up. So come onto the ball of your right foot, fully straighten your right leg, and strongly bend your left knee. Left knee should not surpass your toes. Make sure your left knee is directly over your ankle or your foot, not further forward than your foot. Stretch your arms up, fully straighten your back leg, holding here. Now, for some of the strengthening moves, bend your right knee. So you've got 90-degree angle at the front and the back. We've got 8 lunges here. So 8, bend your knee. 7, abs tighter. 6, get the right knee lower. 5, 4, 3, 2. On this last one, bend your right knee, hold, hover, little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands to the mat, step your left leg back, and here's where you have your choice. Hold your plank, come down to a cobra, or move through your vinyasa. Again, you come down to a low plank hover, roll forward onto your toenails, hover your thighs, lift your chest, stomach in, tuck your toes under, press back to your downward facing dog. Now, because we sent the right leg back first, we're going to bring the right leg forward. So extend your right leg up, step it forward, deep forward fold, Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, deep forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana. Now let's do left side. Exhale, deep forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step your left leg back nice and long. Come onto the ball of your left foot. Fully straighten your leg. Right knee bent. Inhale, rise all the way up into your high lunge. Again, right knee should not be forward of your foot. Pull it back so you're vertically stacking all of those joints, all of that musculature, all of those bony structures. Left hip forward, stomach in, nice and tight, and we've got 8 lunges. 1, 2, 3, pull those abs in. 4, stretch your arms higher. 5, 6, 7, 8, and then go down, hover, hold. We've got 8 pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to that lunge, hands to the mat, step your right leg back, flow through your version of a vinyasa. Again, if it's cobra, you come all the way down, toes under, lift your chest, tuck your toes under, press to your high plank, and everybody meets in downward facing dog. Because we stepped back with our left leg, we now step forward with our left leg. Inhale, left leg up, step forward, exhale, fold in, inhale, strengthen with halfway lift, exhale, fold to lengthen back of the body again, inhale, rise all the way up, arch back, exhale, deep forward fold, inhale, halfway lift and hold. Now we're going to move into some sun B variations. From this halfway lift, bend your knees, legs stay together, come into your awkward pose, your Utkatasana. But this time it's a variation. We've got legs together, so pull in through your abdominals, sit down a little bit deeper, stretch your arms up. Let's find some arm variations. Bring your arms to goalpost, pull down, tighten through the abs, arms reach up. 3 more times. Arms reach up. Now sit a little lower. Come down goalpost, arms up, sit a little lower. 1 more. And shoot it up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, deep forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back to your plank. And it's either plank, cobra, or chaturanga. So whatever is your choice today, go ahead and do that. Meet in downward facing dog. Look to the space between your hands. You can either walk up to that space, or you can bend your knees, place the weight, your intention into your hands, and float your body up and gently lay into that space. Exhale, inhale, exhale, rise all the way up, and from your Urdhva Hastasana, sit down again. Here you are again. Lengthen, stretch, reach your arms as an extension of your spine. Pull in through your abdominals. And from here, we've got 4 counts of heels up. So lift your heels, lower your heels. Stay low in your body. Lift and lower, lift and lower. 1 more time, lift and hold, lift and hold. Sit a little bit lower. Now lower your heels. Now we've got 4 of the seat touches. So bend your knees. If you've got knee issues today, don't go so low, and come up halfway. 3 more. Sit down, lift halfway. 2 more. And last one. Hold. Hold. Your thighs should be on fire just a little bit. Who needs that extra heat? We've got it right here. Inhale, shoot it up. Exhale, deep forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back. Either foot can go first. Flow through your vinyasa. It could be a cobra. It could be a chaturanga. It could be a plank hold. And everybody, come back. Land in your downward facing dog. Very nicely done. From here, you either walk up to your hands or bend your knees and float yourself all the way up. Exhale, deep forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, deep forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. So we're going to start and flow through one of our first flows today. We're going to move through half of the flow, then a vinyasa, and then we'll do that first half of the flow and we're going to add on to it. So you'll get to do the first part twice. No worries if you mix up rights and left. The whole goal today is just to move your body in a different way, get your heart rate up, get your body moving, and keep your mind active as well. So first one, we're going to start with eagle. So I'm starting on right side because I would like you to start on the right side since that's what we're familiar with. But in doing so, that means initially my back will be to you. And then when we do second side, I'll be face toward you. So that's just how we're going to do it this time. I think you guys will be fine. All right, so let's start with your eagle. Inhale, arms overhead, right arm under left. And if you can move your arms and legs same time, let's give that a try. So draw your elbows down, fingertips go below your nose. And in order to find a little bit of a deeper seat, raise your arms up. Bring your elbows in line with your shoulders. So rather than elbows being lower than your shoulders, raise them up and sit down a little bit lower. Now, instead of rounding forward, flatten your back and see if you can stretch forward over your thighs. Then reach your arms back to an airplane position. Now here's where the balance needs to take over. Unwrap your right leg. Send it back. Toes down. Start with your high lunge position. We were just in the high lunge, so your body's familiar with this. Bend your knee, top of your foot flat, come into your low lunge position. Frame your left foot with your hands, simple twist. Left hand stays flat, open to the side, twist. Keep your right hip forward. Press down evenly through your left foot and your left hand. From here, tuck your right toes under and come up into a 5-pointed star. Lengthen your arms, reach your arms and your legs away from your body and stretch your spine, make it a little bit straighter. From your 5-pointed star, coming into a warrior two. So turn your left toes forward like we do for a Bikram triangle and bend your knee like we do for a Bikram triangle. But this time, instead of looking straight across the horizontal plane of your mat, look forward toward the top of your mat. Right hip forward, gently under the power of your leg and hip. Press your left knee back. Hold here in your warrior two. Now flip your front hand over and reach your back hand for your hamstring or your calf muscle, either way. If those are not accessible, you can put your hand on your hip as well. Peaceful warrior. Stay nice and low. Reach your arm back. Stretch through your left side body. Then from your peaceful warrior, come through, hold, back in your warrior two, and then we're going to cartwheel down and move through a vinyasa. So step it back and move through your vinyasa, whatever works for you. And now we've got the other side. So look up to the space between your hands. Soften your knees, jump forward or step forward. Exhale, deep forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, deep forward fold. Rise all the way up. And now we've got eagle, left side, arm and leg, same time if you can. Pull your elbows down as you sit down to bring your body a little bit lower. Raise your elbows up, elbows in line with your shoulders. Sit a little deeper. Launch your body forward. Hold the forward launch. Stretch your arms back. Maintain the balance. Step your left leg back, because I'm totally backwards. So step your left leg back, high lunge. Come onto the ball of your left foot. Left leg long and strong. Right knee bent over your right foot. Pull in through your abdominals. From here, bend your knee, arms overhead, top of your foot flat. Place your hands flat. Simple twist to the open side. Right palm flat next to your right foot. And simply twist open to the open side. From your simple open twist, inhale, come up to your 5-pointed star. Lengthen arms, lengthen legs, pull in through your abdominals. Turn your left toes straight ahead, right toes out, and come into your warrior two. Again, unlike the Bikram triangle, for this, we can't use our elbow to push the knee back. You've got to push the knee back on your own. Sit a little bit lower. Right palm faces up. Come into your peaceful warrior. Back to your warrior two. And cartwheel it down. Move through your vinyasa. Again, whatever works for you. And it may change throughout the practice. You may do some chaturangas and then decide that it's a little too much for your shoulders today to do further chaturangas. And so then you may decide to do cobra pose or plank from there. Look to the space between your hands. Bend your knees and jump on up. Exhale, deep forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, deep forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And now we've got what we just did, but we're also going to add on to it. So start with right side eagle. I'll get my rights and lefts together today. So right side eagle. Pull down, sit down. Level hips, level shoulders, arms up. Stretch forward, lunge forward. Then arms go back to airplane arms. Hold your position, lengthen your arms more. Balance on your left foot. Raise your right leg. Flow your left leg back. Work the balance, work the balance. The more you work the balance, the more you're working your strength. Set your toes down, arms up. Bend your knee, top of your foot flat. Frame your left foot with your hands. Open twist to the right. From this open twist, sweep your arm around and come into your 5-pointed star. Arrange your feet, right toes forward, left toes toward the top of your mat, arms come down. Here you go, into your warrior 2. Flip your left palm, reach your right hand for your hip, your hamstring, or your calf muscle. And here's where we're going to vary just a little bit. So we did the cartwheel down, but this time, come back into your warrior 2. Straighten your front leg, turn your right toes more straight ahead, sweep your arms overhead, and pull your right hip forward. Instead of doing the rounded version of standing separate leg head to knee, Bikram yoga, Parsvottanasana, we're going to come down with a flat back and a straight spine. So sweep your arms around, grab opposite elbows, pull your abdominals in, and stretch forward. Now, if this is as far as you go today because of tightness, then you're making great progress. You go as far as your body will allow you to go. And ultimately, the idea is to touch your stomach on your thigh, your chest on your knee, and even your chin to your shin as you look down in the direction of your foot. Now, we've got some more work for you. So if you are in a halfway up position here, you're still going to do this work with us. Sweep your arms forward. Frame your foot with your hands. Shift your weight into your left leg. Soften your left knee. From here, use your foot and your 2 hands as balance and see if you can raise your right leg off the floor. Extend it, reach it. Now we're going to do some taps to the floor. 8, 7, 6. Maintain the bend in the left knee to maintain strength in the thigh. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay lifted. Now this leg, the leg that you're on, straighten as much as you can. Bend halfway. Straighten and bend. We've got 4 more like that. 4, 3, 2, and 1. If you can hold it straight, do your version of standing split. If you're having a bent position, I want you to hold that bent position and work your strength. If it's straight, start to raise your straight right leg up. Draw your body into your leg. You can take your left hand, bring it around the back of your calf muscle, and bring your body into the leg as you raise your right leg up, 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 over time working your standing split. Your standing split position may look more like this today, and that's perfect. What do we need? We need strength and balance and flexibility. So as long as you're working 1, 2, or 3 of those things, you're working toward this pose. Then, left hand to the mat, right hand steps next to left. Exhale, deep forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, deep forward fold. Inhale, rise up, and we're going to go right into the left side. And I promise this side, I will remember that it is actually the left-sided eagle. So left, under right. Palms together. Pull your elbows down. Suck your stomach in. Sit lower. It seems kind of counterintuitive, but raise your arms up to bring your body lower. Launch over your thighs. Sweep your arms back. Left leg goes back. Find your balance. See if you can balance here. Bent front leg, straight back leg. Tuck your toes under. Set your toes down. Come into your high lunge. Come into your low lunge. Frame your right foot with your hands, and we're going to open this twist to your open side. Just a nice simple twist. From here, sweep your arm around, bring your body up into your 5-pointed star, find the length, find the space in your body. Right toes go toward the front of your mat, Left toes go straight ahead or slightly forward, and bring your arms down into your warrior two. Look over the long line of your front facing arm. Flip your right palm. Left hand goes to hip, hamstring, or calf. Peaceful warrior. Don't allow your right knee to cave in. Continue to press it back and open. Then come back to your warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Turn your back toes forward. Arms overhead. Straighten your legs. Stomach in. Stretch forward. Arms behind you. Grab opposite elbows. Stomach on thigh. Chest on knee. Chin to shin. Or a little bend if you absolutely have to. Or, more preferable, keep the legs straight. Keep your spine straight and just hold your body in a more upright position. So, no matter what your position is, let's release that grip, fingertips to the floor, shift your body weight into your front leg, soften your front leg, lift your back, straight leg up, point your toes. 8 taps to the floor. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up. Front leg, straighten, bend. 7 more times. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold here as straight as you can. If you've got a straight leg, now's the time. Raise your back leg straight. Keep your bottom supporting leg straight. Wrap your right hand behind. Bring your body in. Extend your left leg nice and high. Both hands back on the mat. Step your feet together. Exhale, deep forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Rise all the way up. And arms down. Take a quick sip of water if you need it. We're going to move into our second set of flow coming up next. And from here, actually, let's isolate first. Before we do that, we've got a little more leg work to do. Let's do standing head to knee and standing bow in an isolated fashion outside of the flow. These are really powerful poses within the Bikram series, and I kind of don't want to add them into the flow. I want you to be able to place some emphasis, some importance on these poses, as they require a tremendous amount of concentration, strength, and balance. And the balance can sometimes be a real challenge. So as you prepare for your standing head to knee, bring your toes and heels together. Lots of emphasis today on keeping your shoulders over your hips versus leaning back, because that's often what we do. We lean back, which gives our body a little bit more leverage to help hold the leg up. And it helps us, though, avoid the abdominal work. And we don't want to run away from that. We want to lean into that. Literally, we want to lean into that. So as you pull your abdominals in, round forward, and even if holding your foot is not in your practice today, round just slightly forward to engage and pull in your abdominals, raise your leg up, and if you can't hold your foot today, reach in the direction of your foot, either side, like it's right there. You're going to get those fingers underneath it. Keep going, and find your maximum, your challenge zone, the point where it is very challenging for your body to hold this position. You almost can't even hold it. That's how strong you are today. If it's in your practice, reach down and hold underneath your foot. Now everybody focus on locking your left knee. Straighten your leg, push your knee back, use the muscularity of your leg to lock your knee. Inhale slowly, gently, right leg lift up, kick your heel out, flex your foot. And here again, you kind of work a little bit of that flat back straight spine that we were doing during the halfway lift. It's very similar, but pull in through your abs as you lengthen your leg away from your body. There's opposition there. Pull back, lengthen forward. If both knees are locked and you can balance, bend your elbows down. If your elbows go below, on the first set today, I do want you to bring your forehead to your knee, if that's in your practice. If it's not in your practice, no worries. Now everybody, even if you don't have your foot today, I want you to come up and extend your leg. So as you release, extend your leg, flex your foot. Hold just like that. Hands to hips, pulse 8 times. 8, 7, don't lean back. 6, lean in. 4, 3, 2, point your toe, tap the floor, lift. Tap, lift, working abs and quad. You've got 4 more, just like this. 4, 3, lift higher. 2, leg straighter, Last one, lift and hold, flex, point, lower. Good job. Shake it out. Wipe your hands if you need to. Should be working up. You know, even if we're not getting that drippy sweat like we do in the hot studio, you should be feeling your body react to the inner heat that you're creating. Shift your weight to your right leg, pull in, lean into it, round forward, reach, or hold. Either way, you find your challenge, and remember, it is scientifically proven that your body will not make any changes unless you put it in a position where it is uncomfortable. You've got to push yourself beyond the area that you're used to going to. That will not create change in a meaningful amount of time. So get the grip, stomach in, lock your right knee, push your knee back, contract your thigh, left leg comes up to the degree that you're able to today. It could be that you're still reaching for your foot. Good for you. You work that. If both knees are locked, bend your elbows. If your elbows go below, bring your body down, chest down, head down, forehead to knee. Now again, if you're reaching for your foot and you don't quite have it, this is the time. Extend your leg fully. Hold your leg out, everybody, hands to hips. 8 pulses up. 8, 7, shoulders over hips, 4, 3, 2, 1. Point your toe, tap the floor and lift. Tap and lift. Get higher each time. Higher again. 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Hold it up. Flex your foot. Point your toes. Lower down. Awesome work. All right. Whew. Standing bow pulling pose. We're going to work the traditional version today, but we're also going to work Natarajasana, which is dancer's pose, a little bit different. So in dancer's pose, we are working a little bit more the backward bend and using some of the strength of the upper body to propel and lift the chest forward, as well as creating some more movement through the shoulder. So just follow along. I'm going to do left side first, just so you get a better view, but you are welcome to do right side first. So start the same way that we do for the Bikram method. Right hand out, hold your right ankle. Again, I'm going to do left side just so that you've got a little better view. Then reach your left arm up in front of you, and from this point, do your best not to change the position of your chest, your head, or your left arm in space. Instead, kick, but don't bring your chest down. Work the backward bend. Work the flexibility of your shoulder. Chest up, it's like you're high-fiving yourself right in front of you, a mirror image of yourself. Kick back, kick up, stretch, and change. Toes and heels touch. Let's do other side. So if you're with me, you're now going to do the right side, but if you're sticking with your traditional sides, then now you should be on the left side. As long as you're just doing the opposite of what you did. Knees together, left or right arm up, whichever one works for you. Keep your chest and your arm lifted, kick, without changing the position of your chest and arm in space. So your head stays elevated, looking straight ahead with your chin parallel to the floor. Then kick, work the backward bend, stretch to the front left side of your body as you therapeutically compress on the right side, and kick, and change. Toes and heels together. Now moving into the more traditional Bikram method, where we start that way, but then you add the chest down. So all of those feelings, those physical sensations that you had of that nice, tight, backward bending, that compression, that therapeutic compression in your spine, get that, and then add to it some additional flexibility work by bringing your chest down. So this time I will start on the right, going to the traditional side, because you don't need to see as much. You guys know what you're doing on this one. Take a deep breath, and here I go. I start with a kick, and then I add to it some additional flexibility work through my left hamstring and the front side of my right hip as I bring my body down. Again, you guys don't go crazy on this one. You're probably in an unheated environment, so let your body open up naturally through the internal heat you're creating, because we don't have the advantage of the external heat. Stretch forward and kick, change. Toes and heels together, arms down, left hand out, or right hand, depending on what you want to do. Right arm up, stretch up, charge forward. forward and bring the body weight more forward into the toes of your standing leg foot. Straighten your leg, straighten your arm, eyes forward, stretch forward, kick, kick, change. Toes and heels together. Now, while your heart rate is still up, come to the top of the mat. Let's do a vinyasa. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, stretch up. Exhale, deep forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hold that halfway lift. Step back. Hold your plank for a moment. Pull in through your abdominals. Now, don't go anywhere just yet. Now, I've got you right where I want you. Angle your fingers in just a little bit, like you're making a very wide diamond with your hands, and bring your left elbow back to 4 o'clock, or to 8 o'clock, your right elbow back to 4 o'clock, and we're just going to do mini push-ups. Just mini push-ups. Go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn your fingers back forward, and now flow through the rest of your vinyasa. Either a chaturanga or a cobra. And everybody, land in your downward facing dog. Nicely done. All righty. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. If you've got some tension in your shoulders, loosen the tension just a little bit. Let there be some length from the internal structures of the shoulder all the way through to the pads of your fingers as they reach forward on the mat. Now from here, inhale, right leg, lift up, step your right leg forward between your hands, keep your back leg straight, but spin your back heel down. Inhale, come up into a warrior one. So different than a high lunge. With a high lunge, you're on the ball of your foot and your hip is a little more forward. With a warrior two, your heel is down and your hip will be a little bit more open. Do your best to bring your hip slightly forward, but just due to the nature of the anatomy of the body and how the body functions here, your hip will be turned out just a little bit. Bend your right knee, find your warrior one, lengthen through your chest, create a lot of space, a lot of length through the front of your body, and then bring that into a warrior two. So here you are in your warrior two. Very nice setup for a Bikram triangle. That's coming up. Let's flow into a Parsvakonasana variation. So take your forearm, rest it on your thigh, stretch your left arm up, and we're just going to do a variation here. So wrap your shoulder, so turn your palm forward and bring your arm overhead as you look up. Feel a really nice stretch through the left side of your body. You can be slightly supported with forearm on your thigh. Now bring your left arm back up and turn this into a Bikram triangle. So take the weight now off of your arm, hold up with your thigh and your core, and reach. Find your Bikram triangle. Left hip forward, and twist your upper body back. From here, if you want to take a bind, you can take a bind. Top hand goes behind you. Front arm goes under your leg. And see if you can hold your hands together as you look up. Just something a little fun. Come back to your Bikram triangle. Come back to your warrior two, straighten your front leg, turn both sets of toes forward, standing separate leg stretching pose. Stretch your body forward and reach to hold your heels. Again, if you know that you've got a lot of tightness in your legs or your low back and it causes you to round, keep your legs straight, support with your fingers. Very similar to that halfway lift that we've been doing, reinforcing the idea of using your abdominals and straighten your spine. If you can get your heels, hold your heels. If that's just a little too far away, go for the sides of the feet. Once you have that, pull to stretch your body down and aim to bring your head to the space on the floor in between your feet. There should always be a little bit of space there. Once you close that gap fully, then your spine has nowhere where it can lengthen any longer. So always keep your feet just close enough that you always have a little bit of space between the floor and your head so that you can continue to lengthen your spine. Take a few breaths here on this inversion. Remember, inversions afford your exhale an opportunity to have the upper hand. So work for your inhale a little bit more and allow your exhale to be soft. Soften through your shoulders, create space between the vertebrae. And from here, inhale, rise up, bring your arms into a goalpost position, turn your toes slightly out, tailbone under, flat back, straight spine, bring your body down, down, down into a challenge zone. So we're almost in a goddess position. From here, go down 1 more inch, lift it 1 inch, down an inch, up an inch, down and lift, lower and lift, working thighs and seat, 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, hold. Inhale, rise all the way up, cartwheel yourself down, step back, move through your vinyasa. We're going to do the other side. And come back and hold this position. From here, this time, it is left leg up. Step your left foot between your hands and spin your right heel down. Inhale, come to your warrior 1. Again, your right hip will slightly peel back, but it should not be so far back that you're now aligned with the long edge of your mat. Continue to try and align your body with the front side of your mat the best you can so you achieve a stretch through that hip, knowing, however, that with your left leg forward and your right leg back, that your pelvis will, of course, try and accommodate your body position. So your right hip will pull back a little bit. That's okay. You work to pull it just as far forward as your body will allow today, while keeping your back leg straight and keep your knee over your ankle and foot, not further forward than that. From your warrior 1, move into your warrior 2. Hold your position nice and strong. Continue to pull in through your abs. What do you think is supporting your head, your shoulders, your chest? It's the strength of your abdomen, the strength of the muscles around your spine, holding that all up, strengthening that so you can be nice and strong and nicely aligned. And then from your warrior 2, we're going to go into your Parsvakonasana. So bend your elbow. It's kind of like the most interesting man in the world pose. And then from here, right arm goes up. And it's more than just, I'm not just turning at the elbow. I'm not just turning my hand. I'm wrapping my shoulder. So the entire shoulder wraps forward over my face, over my head. And that gives you the opportunity to create some movement in that area, as well as open your chest toward the ceiling. From here, arm goes up, Bikram triangle. If you want to do the bind, do your bind. Back to your Bikram triangle. Standing separate leg stretching pose. Bring your feet a little closer if you need to. And this time you can take an arm variation. So if your legs are straight, typically during this pose, then give yourself the option to maybe do an arm variation. If your legs are generally bent and you're working towards straight legs, continue just to do it in the traditional way. But if your legs are straight, I'm going to turn to the side, you can give an interlace to your hands, and it doesn't have to be tight. You can keep it a loose grip. As you stretch forward, bring your arms forward overhead and allow your arms to drape over your body. So keep your head soft and your shoulders soft, and allow the weight of your hands and your forearms to help pull your arms overhead. Alternately, you could grab your elbows and you could go down with your elbows. And when you do either of these, again, you must rely more on core strength to give your body the stretch, because now you do not have that pulling power. And one more alternate is you could do a reverse prayer position. Palms together behind you, reach your fingertips toward the nape of your neck, and you can stretch forward in this way as well. So any of those are great variations. Stay in this pose, continue to lengthen with straight legs. If your fingertips are on the floor to help you straighten your legs, use that as a place to place some of your weight. So with the weight more in your hands, you can start to straighten your legs over time without the weight of your body adding to the work that you already have to do. So put the weight of your body into your hands, and then with lighter weight on top of your legs, start to straighten your legs. Take a couple more breaths there. And then from there, inhale, come up, arms out to the side. Turn your toes slightly out, just a little bit. Hands to your hips, pull in through your abs, come down into your seated position. This time, chest forward, seat back, weight more in the heels. Raise your arms overhead, hold your position, sit down a little bit lower, hold the position with your legs, just move your arms. Reach to the floor, reach to the ceiling. Reach to the floor, reach to the ceiling. Good, don't change the position of your legs. Maintain a steady, stable control there. You've got 4 more. Reach, 3, 2, and 1. Reach your arms up, straighten your legs, cartwheel yourself down. Come into your vinyasa, chaturanga, cobra, plank, whatever it is, and into your downward facing dog. And take a moment here. Take a nice little breather. Walk it out, right and left, right and left. Take 3 more breaths here. Moving now into some of our floor series. So from this downward facing dog, take a deep breath in. On your exhale, bring yourself into your plank position. And I say bring yourself into plank on the exhale because I want you to pull your abdominals in when you hit this plank. So pull your abdominals in, nice and tight. And from here, we've got some leg pulls. So lift your leg, keep your foot flexed, and lower. Left leg, lift, hold, and lower. Puff up between your shoulder blades, abs in, right leg up. And lower, left leg up, and lower. Now, moving into side plank or side plank variation, Vashisthasana. Take your right hand, put it in front of your face. Turn your body over. You've got positions with your feet that are optional to you. The most challenging for this one is going to be to stack your feet. Still very challenging, but gives you a little more stability, protective of the shoulder. Stack your front foot in front. And a little bit more stable is to put your bottom knee down. So find the position that works for you today. Vashisthasana, stretch your arms and stack hip over hip. So it's not a leaning back or a leaning forward. It's stacking of the hips, pull up through your side bodies, reach and hold. From here, lower your hips down, come onto your forearm, elbow under shoulder. We're gonna do some jackknife for the obliques. Hands behind the head. Bring your legs slightly forward and roll back. Now instead of hip over hip, top hip goes slightly back. Draw your knees to your chest, lift out of your shoulder, stay lifted out of your shoulder, and extend your legs to a 45-degree angle. Knees to chest and reach. Pull in and reach. Stay lifted out of your shoulder. Pull in through your abs. 4, 3, 2, hold the extension, bottom leg, lower, lift, lower, lift. Reach it longer. Make your bottom leg longer than the top for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Roll it over onto your back. Come into a seated position. I'm going to face you for this one, but you stay facing the same direction that you were. So come into a position where you are seated on your bottom, legs together, hover your feet off the floor, arms reach forward, take your body down into a low boat, bring it back up, hover. Down into a low boat, bring it back up and hover. Now if that's too much, you can hold behind your thighs to help get your body back up. Lower back down and come up. So it should be tailbone, mid-back. Tailbone, mid-back. 2 more. Ooh, these are getting me. And last one. Come up and hold. Turn yourself over. Jackknife other side. I'm going to stay facing you, but I'm still going to do the opposite side of my body. So left elbow under left shoulder. Legs together. Roll slightly back. Hand behind your head. Legs together. Knees to chest. And let's do it. We go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Stay lifted out of your shoulder. 3, 2. Hold the extension, bottom leg only for 8. 7. Make it longer than the top. 6. Stay lifted out of your bottom shoulder. 4, 3, set your body up. Whatever you did on the right side for your side plank, do the same thing on this side. Whatever variation you took with the feet, 3, 2, 1, lift it up and find your side plank. Again, pulling in, and now this time, we do not want the top hip to roll back. We need it to stack over the bottom hip. Flex your feet strongly if they are stacked, or if you've got your top foot forward of your bottom foot. If your bottom knee is down, make sure that knee is in line with the rest of your body, not forward, not back, right in line with the rest of your body. Hold 3 and 2 and 1. Nicely done.